you think someone you're in a situationship with is capable of having like an emotionally healthy conversation about like boundaries. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Before we get started, I wanted to thank our sponsor, which is Nudita. Nudita is an online lingerie brand, and I wanted to show you 3 sets from them today. They are all about inclusive designs, exquisite comfort, empowerment, and confidence. They have a variety of different lingeries, slips, dresses, and more. And you can also use my code Stella. They also have different giveaways and things like that, so they're amazing. This is the first design. It is this bodysuit that is this really pretty dark pink color. I love the push-up design of the cuff, and I feel like this is great shapewear, but it's also sexy enough to just wear by itself or even like as a top, honestly. I love the color. Very soft, like this is just like so comfy. So this is what that first piece looks like on. It's actually the only one I'm able to try on because the other ones I'm going to show you are very see-through. But this also has a snappable crotch, which is so convenient, and it also has a no slip, you know, material on the inside, so it's gonna stay up and just be very flattering. And the straps are adjustable. Here's what it looks like in the back. So we love this one. Then we get into a little more sexy. This is another bodysuit that is lace. It has this halter top and it is see-through. So again, this is a little more on the sexy side. Very cute. I love the lace design, but then how it's also kind of like edgy. This is just really cute and unique. And I love the halter top as well and how it's also adjustable. And then the last set is actually 3 pieces. So we have the top, which is a super cute bralette. I love, again, that it's lace and just really sexy. And then we have the bottoms, which are this thong, also really cute, and I love matching sets like this. I love this lace design, it's so pretty. And then we also have the garter belt. So this is so cute. You wear this 3-piece, girl, you're gonna look so cute wearing this. So that is all. Let me know which is your favorite. I feel like they're all a little different, especially the first one. So you guys should definitely check them out. And if you do, don't forget to use my code Stella for up to 50% off. Thank you so much to Nudita for sponsoring today's video. And let's continue on with the rest of it. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's been a minute since I did an advice video, so I decided it was time. Today I'm just gonna be answering some of your questions from Instagram. Also, disclaimer, I'm not a professional, but I can give you my thoughts. First question is, how do I stop stalking my ex-best friend? Definitely with social media. I feel like there's definitely such a thing as being too connected. And it's like we're not supposed to know this much about people, whether it's like you're going out of your way to stalk someone or like someone's just oversharing. I don't know, I feel like especially lately, personally, I've just been feeling very overwhelmed by like Twitter and even TikTok sometimes, when it's just so many different people's opinions, and sometimes it's very easy to get lost in that, and like it's like, what even are my own thoughts or opinions if I'm just always reading other people's, and like especially just from randoms, like they don't really, it's like I wouldn't take advice from this person, but why am I reading their opinion? So as far as stalking goes, I think the best thing is just to be mindful. The best thing is to just stop. So whether you're stalking like an ex-friend, your crush, I want to tell you guys right now, nothing good will ever really come of that. It's just really about getting in the habit of not. So probably right now it's like you're in the habit of doing that and you're used to getting that little dopamine rush every day or even multiple times throughout the day. What if they posted? Let me watch their story from a fake account. Let me like check their following. Let me do this and that. So like maybe block them if it's that like triggering to you. I think just practicing mindfulness and just catching yourself when you're about to do that, or like having the urge to do that, or even you've already started like stalking them, and just choose to do something else. And I think for me it's often like, especially if I'm just stuck scrolling, it's like I just literally need to put my phone down and like walk away. Just know that it is a habit you can break, and just know like nothing good is ever going to come of that. Like you think you're itching a scratch, but really it's like you're never going to be fulfilled from that, and it's just going to like irritate you. So it's not beneficial to you. You know? How do you know if you're ready for a relationship if you're still on a healing journey? I feel like this has been like the theme of my year, just in the sense of, you know, for the past however many years, I lived alone, I was single, and I could pretty much do whatever I wanted. With that came a lot of peace, but then also sometimes I felt kind of bored. So this year, I think especially just living with someone again and dating and whatnot, when you're around another person, whether it's in dating or a roommate situation or even just any sort of like relationship, that person is going to bring stuff out of you, like good and bad. I think especially with lockdown and like that era, like I was definitely very isolated. I was spending a lot of time by myself, and therefore like nobody was bothering me, you know? I didn't have a lot of conflict in my life because there wasn't somebody else that I needed to take into consideration. So now it's like y'all see my vlogs where me and my sister will like argue. Like I think that's a big example for me. And with relationships too, it's like if you go from single to being in a relationship, like that person's going to trigger you sometimes and just like bring things out of you that you didn't really know existed, and it wouldn't have even been able to be mirrored back to you, because when you're alone you can only like go so far, you know? I think life is just really about learning from every situation that you're in. Sometimes the best thing you need is to be alone and to really like heal and isolate in that sense. And then sometimes you need to put yourself back out into the game, whether that means like switching your career or going back to dating, being in a relationship, living with someone again, putting yourself back out there. And sometimes that's the best way you can heal, because you can only grow so much in isolation and in your like little cozy nighttime routine with your organization. Like, yeah, that's great and all, but like you need real life too. I don't think there's necessarily a like right time. Like the answer is not going to be the same for everyone. I think it's just about knowing yourself. And if you get in a situation and it's just like overbearingly hard, it's like, okay, maybe I just need time to reflect. But then also, even if it doesn't work out and it's hard, it's like now you know kind of what you need to work on, or like what your triggers are, or like this and that. How to manage conflict in friendships and relationships. I think it's really important to keep in mind your end goal. And I think it's also about knowing how you kind of naturally want to be. Some people are very conflict averse and are going to more likely be petty and passive aggressive, and then some people are just a lot more reactive, and so they're gonna lash out a lot right at first and then regret it later. So I think it's kind of, and obviously there's like other examples, but I feel like that's kind of like the two ends of the spectrum. So it's just about knowing yourself, and I think it's just really important to process how you're feeling before you communicate with the other person, because when you're reactive and when you know, react right away based on emotion, you're not going to have a productive conversation or just have the result that you want in the end. Because normally, you know, if you're in a relationship and you have a disagreement or there's a conflict, you most likely want to be with that person, you want to be closer to that person, you want to seek understanding or to feel understood by that person. And so, you know, lashing out, that's not going to help that. Being passive aggressive and turning resentful, that's not going to help that. And I think as I've learned more about healthy communication and just healthy, you know, self-emotional regulation, it's like you just kind of notice how many grown adults don't know how to do that. And I think especially living in New York has really shown me like even more, because I'm just around so many more people all the time. And so it's a very rare skill to have control over your emotions, and also just to know how to handle a conflict or to tell somebody that they hurt your feelings or whatever. So definitely process your emotions yourself first. That could be journaling, going for a walk, just taking time to like let it out of your system and like breathe. And then you can think logically about how you want to go about communicating this. And I think the best tips for that are using I statements and just keeping the end goal in mind of like, okay, I want to heal this connection. If you don't want to heal the connection, that's a different story. Like if you're in a toxic relationship or something, like sometimes there's no use in trying to communicate healthily, like you just have to cut it off. But I think in general, it's like, bro, in any relationship, there's going to be like disagreements. And so it's not about avoiding those, but it's about learning how to get through them and how to, despite emotion, come to a place of unity and like understanding, you know, and like mutual respect. So definitely like I statements, learning how to actually apologize, learning how to not be defensive and how to like listen to somebody even if you feel like you want to be defensive and like defend yourself. It's like sometimes you just need to let someone talk. And yeah, it's just a very rare skill. Most people do not know how to deal with conflict, so that's one of the best gifts that you can give yourself, is like learning how. And there's just so many free resources out there, books, people, therapists to follow on Instagram, articles, videos about how to, you know, self-regulate and process your emotions, and then like how to communicate effectively, or at least try to, with someone. And if someone is not able to do that, then, you know, it's like, do you want that relationship or not? How do I deal with catching feelings for my situationship? Girl, watch some Sheer 7, okay? I think situationships are like the biggest waste of time, because it's like, what do you gain? And I think especially being a young woman, who is like attractive, it's like you literally have so much to like offer the world. That sounds kind of wrong, but like I mean that in the sense of like you could literally have anyone, and there are men or just, you know, people out there that would do anything for you and that will give you the life that you want and like just give you everything you want, whether that's a certain lifestyle, just the relationship that you want, how you want to be treated. You know, oh, I want him to surprise me with flowers, I want to travel, I want my bills paid, like whatever it may be. So it's like, why would you settle with someone who doesn't even want to commit to you and who is like openly probably disrespecting you to your face? Especially if you're catching feelings, it's like, I would just take that as a loss. Like, I don't truly, honestly, the more I like grow up, it's like, okay, yeah, it's like, yeah, in an ideal world we could like just have this like equal communication with, you know, the guys that we have situationships with, but it's like so often that's not it. And so it's about like learning the game. That's why I really like Sheer 7's videos, because she gives you like the real advice. It's like, yeah, there's like the fantasy advice. Most men are very stuck in their ways, and you're not gonna be able to have the same types of conversations that you have with your girlfriends as you do with like a man, especially a situationship. Like, you think someone you're in a situationship with is capable of having like an emotionally healthy conversation about like boundaries and like whatever. It's like, because I just really believe more and more, like, I guess if he wanted to, he would, but more so like men are gonna go after what they want, and if a guy wants you, he's going to make it be known. Because just think about it, like most guys are very territorial, and if you are single and he hasn't like asked you to be in a relationship or be exclusive with him, he knows that you're probably talking to other guys. And it's like, even if maybe he acts jealous, like, oh, I'm in a situationship, but he's still acting jealous, like if I am talking to someone else or he sees me out with someone else, it's like he doesn't like you enough to lock it down. So like, if you're in that kind of situation where you're in a situationship and you're like, oh my god, I'm starting to really like him, it's like, you need to like look at yourself in the mirror and be like, why would I like someone that doesn't even like me back? And I know that's like trend, oh my god, me with a guy that treats me good and simps over me, ew. And then it's like, me with a guy that doesn't care if I live or die, oh my god, I'm in love with him. It's like, babe, that's not like cute and fun, especially since, you know, we're getting older. It's like, please heal, because you deserve so much more than that. And it's like, you have to ask yourself, what do you gain at the end of the day? Move on. Like, he doesn't want you, okay? If you're confused, if you don't know where you stand, if you're not feeling that same energy back, they don't like you. Because most guys, like, yeah, you can have all of the like, oh my god, the therapist stitching this, well, there's been times you have wanted to do something and haven't done it. It's like, a guy's not gonna like, a guy that really likes you and really wants to be with you is not gonna like be shy and like, oh my god, like I'm just too shy to ask her, like. And then it's like, would you want someone to act with it? I don't know. It's like, so it's like a mix of knowing the game. I feel like this is like with everything in life, not even just like dating and relationships, but it's like a mix of knowing the game, knowing just how society operates and how society teaches us to be, and then also with that, like, okay, how can I go about this in like a healthy way? How can I put myself first? Let me know if you agree with that, but that's kind of my thoughts. How do I deal with societal pressure and pressure with family for getting married and starting a family, even though I'm only in my 20s? Do I feel that? It really just depends on what you want. Ultimately, you have to live for yourself. You can't live for your family. And so if that means, you know, talking to them less, distancing yourself. The thing is, like, times have changed a lot, and while I do think if you are gonna get married, it should be beneficial to you, that doesn't mean you have to get married. It's, you know, women can have their own careers and be good. We can be good on our own. We don't need to get married at 15, because that's the only way that we'll ever like have a life. But it's like, if you do want to get married, it's like, make sure you're getting married for the right reasons and like for the life that you want, and not just because you like have a crush on somebody. Living your life for you. If you are thinking about marriage and that's something that you want, it's like, take the steps to find someone that you would want, that like you could see yourself with, becoming the type of woman that your dream guy would want. That doesn't mean like changing yourself, but it could mean like, I don't know, switching up your aesthetic a little, paying attention to where you're hanging out. Like, if you're hanging out in the same raggedy club with like the same annoying situationship guys, it's like, why are you expecting something different from that? It's like, okay, what do I see in my ideal, even like boyfriend or whatever, like what do they do? What does their daily life look like? What kind of lifestyle do they have? And like, where can I find that? And then as far as dealing with your family, it's like, I don't know. That's kind of hard for me to answer because I have just never have been like faced with that. I mean, that might change as I get older, like if I am still not married or something, but my mom especially just never really like emphasized that growing up. Like I was never the little girl like fantasized about her wedding, or I was never like told like I had to do that. But as I get older, I definitely think about it, and it's like, if I'm gonna do that, like I want it to be the right, like smart decision, you know? Smart in all aspects, not just like love. Best tips for a night out. I guess it depends like what the night is. I feel like my version of going out now is just a lot more chill. Like I don't really go to clubs, I don't really go to parties like that. If anything, I'll go to like an event. I'm more so like a chic, you know, happy hour, or like a wine, or like, you know, just getting drinks with friends. Like I'm not really like going out and partying these days. Like on a night out, I definitely like tequila. Tequila keeps me sharp, you know, and keeps me like, I can be aware on tequila. Like I just remember the early days when I first ever drank, I didn't know any better, so we would drink like vodka, and that just made me so messy. I'm drinking water, look cute, don't buy drinks, have fun, you know, make memes, don't be messy, make sure no one roofies you. Okay, last question, y'all. Let me know if you want me to do another video like this, but it is, how do I maintain my individuality and independence while in a relationship? I think it's really important to remember, especially if you're with a man, they're not supposed to be literally everything, you know? Like some things, it's like, that's why you have girlfriends, that's why you have your mom, your sibling, like whatever. That's why you have your online community. Expecting your significant other to be your everything, like to fit every role, is unrealistic, and also, you know, doesn't leave room for maintaining independence and like your own life. So definitely have your own hobbies, have your own goals, make plans with your friends, and ultimately it's about putting yourself first. So that doesn't mean, you know, not fitting in time for your partner, but it's like you don't need to be all up under them at all times. And again, especially with a guy, I feel like it is true that guys like to chase. So, you know, just leaving that room for like a little, not mystery, but just like, dude, I literally was watching a Share 7 video once, and she was like, if you're like this all the time, for like, if you're like this for a long period of time, you're gonna be like this for a long period of time. But if you're sometimes like this, you know, it's like, then it just is more balanced. Let someone miss you, you know? And yeah, I think just scheduling things to do by yourself or like with friends, just not with your partner, is super important. So that's all I'm gonna answer. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you want more advice videos like this. Definitely follow me on IG so you will know when I'm filming the next one. Don't forget to check out our sponsor, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye everyone.